Good morning, class, once again. And today we will see the new topic, farming in Palampur. Okay, farming in Palampur. Class 9th economics first chapter is going on. Let's see. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in comment box, or you can write all these doubt in your copy, and when class will be continued, that time you can also ask. Okay, you will write hard words, you will read the chapter at your home and try to find out these question answers. Let's see. Farming in Palampur. As before, we have talked about the Palampur, a village in which the writer just imagine about a village, that there is a village named Palampur, and give some situations, some conditions. Okay, some settlements were there, but now today we will see the next point. Land is fixed, as we know that land, the place, the earth is fixed. Farming is the main production activity in Palampur. Farming is the main production activity. If I will ask the question, what is the main production activity? What is the main activity in Palampur? Then you can answer, farming is the main activity, the main production activity in Palampur. 75% of the people 75% of the people who are working are dependent on farming for their livelihood. 75% of people who are working are dependent on farming. Most of the people, through this criteria, we can see. We also say that most of the people are dependent on farming for their livelihood. What is livelihood? What is livelihood? Livelihood means ajivika, and we also can say food, bread. Okay, jivika, roti, roji, roti. We also can say, so it's called livelihood. They could be farmers or farm laborers. Okay, it does not matter that if they are dependent on farming means they are farmer. No, they could be farmers or farm laborers. Farm laborers means the people who work in farm or in field as a labor. Labor means mazdoor, workers. Okay, next. The well-being of these people is closely related to production on the farms. Here, the verb would use for good, safe. The safely being of these people is closely related to production on the farms. Their life mostly dependent on farms. But remember that there is a basic constraint in raising farm production. Constraints means some problems, some basic problems. Badhita, bibasta. Okay. Control. Okay. Basic control in raising farm productions. What is that? Land area under cultivation is practically fixed. The land area under cultivation for the purpose of cultivation, for the purpose of agriculture, the land is fixed. Since 1960 in Palampur, there has been no expansion in land area under cultivation. Expansions means, the word has been used, expansions mean detailed. Detail, D-E-T-A-I-L, detail, or growth, G-R-O-W-T-H. There has been no growth in land area under cultivation since 1960. By then, some of the best land in the village had been converted to cultivate land. From that long time, the wastelands Okay, also had been converted to cultivated land because of a long time period. There exists no further scope to increase farm production by bringing new land under cultivation. There is no further scope. There is no further scope exist to increase farm production. There is no any option to increase or bringing new land under cultivation. Okay, class. Now change the page. The standard unit of measuring land is hectare. The standard unit, the SI unit, the standard unit of measuring land is hectare. Through in the village, you may find land area being discussed in local units. Which units? Local units. Every area having their local units. Every area having their local units such as biga, quinta, etc. 1 hectare equal the area of a square with one side measuring 100 meter. Can you compare the area of 1 hectare field with the area of your school ground? Okay, this is your homework, that how you will describe the area of your school in hectare, first in your local units, then in your standard unit. See, is there a way one can grow more from the same land? Is this possible to grow more than same land? Let's see. In the kind of crops grown and facilities available, Palampur would resemble a village of the western part of the state of Uttar Pradesh. Resemble means take after, TAKEAFTER, take after means मेल खाना, या फिर जैसे लगता है, कैसे लगता है कि that this is a village looking like a western part of state Uttar Pradesh. The facilities, the crops which grown here is same as a village of Uttar Pradesh. All land is cultivated in Palampur. All land is cultivated in Palampur. No land is left idle. Okay, it's mean every cultivated land, every area, every place is cultivated, and no land left idle. Idle means useless. Write the meaning: useless. USELESS. No area is useless. During the rainy season, Kharif, farmer grow jowar and bajra. During the rainy season, the farmers grow jowar and bajra. These plants are used as cattle feed. Okay, these plants, jowar and bajra, are used as cattle feed. It is followed. What is the meaning of feed? Cattle feed. Are you similar to this? Feed means it's related to food. Okay, feed. Cattle food. It is followed by cultivation of potato between October and December. Means after rainy season, after it's continued by cultivation of potato between October and December. In the winter season, Rabi fields are sown with wheat. In winter season, in winter season, or Rabi crop. Field are sown. Sown means SOW. And sown means बोना. ठीक है, इसको बोया जाता है with wheat. From the wheat produced, farmers keep enough wheat for the family's consumptions and sell the surplus wheat at the market of at Raiganj. From the wheat produce, the wheat produce whatever how much need farmers have. Okay, first they satisfied their need. First they keep for whole year how much they can use. Okay, then the remaining the surplus or the remaining they sold in market. So one word is here, consumption. What is the meaning of consumption? Consumption means, yes, try to understand why the consumption here is used. Means use, इस्तेमाल करना, how much they can consumption. Okay. Or service, utility. It's good utility, how much they can utilize. And surplus wheat, and the surplus wheat they sold in market. Surplus means overplus, OVER, PLUS, overplus, and one word is also there, that is extra, EXTRA, extra wheat at the market at Raiganj. A part of the land area is also devoted to sugarcane. A part means how much part they have, how much area they have. Some parts or some definite part they have, they used for sugarcane. Sugarcane means ganna. Okay, and devoted means, what is the means of devoted? Devoted we can use ready. Okay, and faithful also one word, and loyal, OLOYAL, loyal to sugarcane, which is harvested once every year. That place harvested once in a year. Okay, harvested means काटा जाना, फसल काटना. Sugarcane in its raw form or as jaggery is sold to traders in Sahapur. Jaggery means good. Jaggery means good. Okay. So the raw materials of sugarcane as good or jaggery is sold, बेचा जाता है where? Traders, to the traders or merchants, व्यापारी in Sahapur. The main reason why farmers are able to grow 3 different crops in a year in Palanpur is due to the well-developed system of irrigation. Means the 3 different crops in a year. The same land can grow more than one crop. Same year, they are able to grow more than one, means 3 different crops in Palanpur in the same place is only cause of irrigation system of irrigation. Irrigation means सिंचाई करना, irrigate करना. Okay, cause of irrigation, the water supply is good there, so they are able to do this. Electricity came early to Palanpur. Okay, electricity came early to Palanpur. Its major impact was to transform the system of irrigation. Electricity, on the time the electricity came on the time in Palanpur, its major impact means effect. Impact means prabhav, effect, EFFECT. Its major effect was transform the system of irrigation. Okay, how they can transform the system of irrigation. Persian wheels were till then used by farmers to draw water from the wells and irrigate small fields. In starting, they were using what they were using? Persian wheels. Persian wheels means some wheels are called Persian wheels. They called rahat. They also called rahat. Okay. So in the starting, they were using Persian wheels for irrigation, for small fields irrigation. People saw that the electric run tube wells could irrigate much larger area of land more effectively. This process was taking so much time and there is no more effect. Okay, they just only irrigating a small field, but they saw the electric run, the tube wells which run by electric, that could irrigate much larger area of land more effectively. More area they will covering. The first few tube wells were installed by the government. First of all, the government introduced about tube wells to the farmers. Okay, so government installed and government ने लगाए first few कुछ tube wells, some few tube wells they installed. Soon, however, farmers started setting up private tube wells. But after sometimes when they saw benefits of tube wells, they started setting up their own tube wells, their private tube wells. As a result, by mid-1970, the entire cultivated area of 200 hectares was irrigated. Means a large area irrigated, okay, with the help of cultivation, with the help of tube wells, till and by mid 1970. Not all villages in India have such high level of irrigation. At some point is good to read. Let's see. Not all villages in India have such high levels of irrigation. These all facilities are not available in all villages of India. Apart from the riverine plains, coastal regions in our country are well irrigated. Some plains which are near to rivers, some coastal plains which are near to sea or seaport, okay, they are well irrigated because they have mostly water. In contrast, plateau regions such as Deccan Plateau have low level of irrigation. The plateaus where there is no much water, they have low level of irrigation. Of the total cultivated area in the country, a little less than 40% is irrigated every today. Of the total cultivated area in our country, only less than 40% is irrigated even today. Means 60% area is barren, banjar. There is no water available. They are not irrigated. In the remaining area, farmer is largely dependent on rainfall. In India, most of the farmers dependent on rainfall. They believe in rainfall because there is no any irrigation system available near to them. See, to grow more than one crop on a piece of land during the year is known as multiple cropping. To grow more than one crop on a piece of same land on a land during the year is known as multiple cropping. What is multiple cropping? To grow more than one crop on the land, on the same land. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 crops are here. If we will grow these 4 crops on our land, okay, is known as multiple cropping in a year. It is the most common way of increasing production on a given piece of land. It is a most common way. By this way, by using this way, that grow more than one crop, okay, we can increase the production. All farmers in Palampur grow at least 2 main crops. Many are grown potato as the third crop in the past 15 to 20 years. In the starting, people were doing like this. They were only growing at least 2 crops in a year. 2 crops, only 2 main crops. But after sometimes they starting using third crop as potato after past between 15 to 20 years. पिछले 15 से 20 साल पहले they started third crop as potato. You have seen that one way of increasing production from the same land is by multiple cropping. You know, I have told you in the starting that is multiple cropping. You may have seen, आप देख चुके हैं, you have seen that one way of increasing production from the same land is by multiple cropping. By this, we can grow multiple cropping. The other way, there is another way also available. That is, the other way is to use modern farming method for higher yielding. For higher yield, there is this is not only a single way. There is another way is also available for increasing production. A new word is used here. Yield. Yield means production. Yeah, produce. Okay. Higher production. For higher production. PRODUCTION. Yield is measured as crop produced on a given piece of land during a single season. Yield, we can say production also. Production is measured as crop produced on a given piece of land during a single season. In a season, when a crop is produced on a given piece of land. Till the mid of 1960, the seeds used in cultivation were traditional ones with relative low yield. Till 1960, only the seeds were using. Seeds means beej. Okay, seed was used in cultivation, but traditional ones. Mostly people using seeds for the cultivation with the traditional. Traditional, what is the traditional means? Tradition means paramparagat. Okay, tradition, parampara. Okay, traditionals ones with relatively low yields. Low production was there. Traditional seed needed less irrigation. Okay, for traditional seeds, they need only less irrigation. They do not have need of much water. Farmers used cow dung and other natural manures as fertilizers. For fertilizers, the farmers they were using cow dung and natural manure. Manure means khad. Okay, khad as fertilizers. Fertilizer की तरह. Okay, fertilizers means क्या होता है? Fertilizers also a good word. Fertilizers means that can also use as the urbarak. Urbarak means which increases the quality of production. will increase the quality of production in the soil. Okay, all of these were readily available with the farmers who did not have to buy them. These all things were available because farmers, mostly farmers, they do not have can buy new technology, new things. The Green Revolution in the late 1960s introduced the Indian farmers to cultivation of wheat and rice using high-yielding varieties of seeds. Remember this word HYV, high-yielding varieties. HYV, high-yielding varieties of seeds. Green Revolution. There was a revolution started in the field of cultivation that is called Green Revolution in 1960, in which farmers introduced by the seeds of wheat and rice. Compared to the traditional seeds, the HY seeds promised to produce much greater amount of grain on a single plant. What was that? Compared to traditional seeds, the traditional seeds which we were using, the HYV seeds promised. Okay, they promised to produce much greater amount. They produce more than traditional seeds on the same single plant, on the amount of grain on a single plant. As a result, the same piece of land would now produce far larger quantities of food grains than was possible earlier. Means the HY seeds were whatever they have promised, they were successful to give more than the traditional seeds. The production was more than traditional seeds. HY seeds, however, needed plenty of water and also chemical fertilizers and pesticides to produce best results. The HY seeds. What is the full form HYV? I have told you before. HYV, high yielding varieties of seeds. Okay, means HY seeds needed a plenty of water. They need plenty means sufficient. They need sufficient of water and also chemical fertilizers, urbarak and pesticides. Okay, and pesticides. What is the meaning of pesticides? Pesticides. Pesticides means it's also called insecticides. Insect means kide. Insecticides means kitnasi. You can, if you want to write, you can write INSECTICIDAL, insecticide. Insecticidal or insecticide to produce best result. They needed these facilities. These were some conditions if farmers want to produce best result. High yielding were possible only from one combination of high yielding seeds, irrigation, chemical, fertilizer, pesticides, etc. Okay, high yielding varieties only possible from the combination, from the mixture of HY seeds. These are some conditions which are needed for produce best result. Okay, that was the another way. The remaining we will see in next video. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in comment box. You can also write in your copy, and when the classes will be there, then you can ask me. Thank you.